1. This image captures some prospectors panning for gold, chasing that big lucky strike. However, the dark side of this picture is that all their efforts would mostly go to waste, with gold almost being non-existent. 2. James Brown Miller, also known as the Killin' Jim, was a mix of badge and bullets. He was a lawman when it was paytime, and an outlaw when it suited him. He didn't actually smoke despite having it in his hand, and had assassinated high-profile people like the U.S. Marshal. 3. In this photo, you can see the Hatfield family in West Virginia around 1897. What's disturbing about this photo is that they are all armed except women and children. 4. Welcome to Randsburg. While the whole West was having an economic crisis, Randsburg was thriving and became the largest gold distributor in Southern California. 5. This Wild West photo depicts pride, dignity, and strength that the native leaders had during a turbulent era where wars and conflicts were happening daily. 6. Here, you can see the steel giants snaking across canyons, turning the Wild West into one connected frontier. 7. In this picture, you can see the absurd level of skill required to wield a horse, showcasing the cowboy bravado and sheer technique. 8. This photo showcases Calamity Jane, a woman who traveled 90 miles on the Platte River just to deliver important dispatches. She is known for her resilience and the art of never giving up. 9. These Wild West cowboys are solving their problems the old way, with guns, whiskey, and cigars. Classic. 10. The 26th President of the United States, Teddy Roosevelt, is exploring the Dakota Badlands after 1885. Even before his presidential run, he was exploring some of the harshest places. 11. This photo shows us the residents of Guthrie, Oklahoma, surrounding the jail in 1889 to get one of the residents released. Anger and justice are on full display in this image. 12. Sister Blandina, in 1872, traveled the Wild West alone, helping the sick, building schools, and even facing down outlaws with nothing but sheer courage. 13. In this image, you can see the mountain man and the first park ranger of Yellowstone National Park, Harry Young. He is standing on top of Berthoud Pass in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. 14. While this image looks all innocent, this is Constable John Selman, who killed the notorious John Wesley Hardin in a gunfight at Acme Saloon in El Paso. Newspaper accounts of that time credited him with the killings of 27 people, while most people believe that the real kill count may have been higher. 15. This picture shows us the pain and confusion on these people as settlers are escaping the Dakota War of 1862. This war lasted 6 weeks, and many people were killed on both sides. 16. This photo is called Fighting Seventh Officers, and this picture was taken shortly after the famous Pine Ridge campaign, which included the Wounded Knee Massacre, involving nearly 300 Lakota people killed. 17. Jesse James was an outlaw, bank robber, and train robber. In this image, you can see the very gun that killed him. 18. Here, you can see a few of Pancho Villa's bandits captured by the U.S. troops in 1916. 19. This Apache kid served as an Army scout before becoming the most wanted renegade outlaw in the Arizona Territory in the 1880s and 1890s. 20. This unique-looking cliff is called the Devil's Tower, and the photograph was taken back in 1890 in Crook County, Wyoming. 21. Back in the warring times, this iconic image got captured where a wonderful blast in building a railroad to Deadwood happened back in 1890. 22. Las Gorras Blancas, a vigilante group formed to fight the takeover of Hispanic lands in New Mexico. 23. This photo looks straight up unreal. Here, we see Navajo Yebichai dancers in 1900. 24. This hard photo is of Red Hawk, the Oglala warrior who fought numerous battles, including the Custer Fight of 1876, and this photo is the iconic 1905 Edward S. Curtis photograph of him in the Badlands. 25. Back in the 1860s, steam laundry services used to make deliveries to your home. This photo was taken in Imperial and Empire mines at Gold Hill, Nevada. 26. This image shows us Sam Bass, the notorious train robber, who was killed by Texas Rangers on his 27th birthday. 27. Taken in 1873, this photo shows us the harsh environment where the Navajo family used to live. 28. This is the photograph of a man called J.L. Haywood, a man whose quick thinking saved the town of Northfield from financial ruin. 29. This photograph contains Billy the Kid's forgotten ally, Martin Chavez, on the left, and his son-in-law, Francisco Santana, who is standing second from the left, inside their store. 30. This is Ann Oakley, covered in badges. Ann was a sharpshooter since her childhood and escaped her poor childhood to become the first female superstar in a male-dominated profession. 31. In this picture, you can see the family home of Jesse James. The photo was taken in 1877 in Kearney, Missouri. 32. This is Bandito's California Colt. This gun was used by Tiberico Casquez to go rampant across early California. 33. This photograph is from 1862, where advanced troops of the U.S. Army's California Column were ambushed in the Apache Pass by Chiricahua Apaches led by Cochise. 34. This is the man who killed Billy the Kid. He used his 7.5-inch biturn single-action Colt to kill him back in 1881. 35. In this interesting picture, a cowboy is getting a haircut on Matador Ranch in 1908. 36. This photograph is iconic because it shows lumber workers posing for a mock confrontation over cards. 37. Here you can see the popular district of Mesquite, Dallas County in 1890. At this time, Mesquite only had a population of less than 150 people, which is absurd. 38. This photo shows us the bodies of two outlaws, Clell Miller on the left and Bill Chadwell on the right. It was taken in 1876 in Minnesota. 39. This photo depicts the aftermath of a range war between cowboys and the rustlers in 1895. You can see people just lying around, and animals are dead. 41. Back in 1874, this photo shows us Southern Paiutes posing for a photograph. It almost seems unreal to even wonder how a photograph was taken so long ago. 42. Here you can see the Indian Lodge, where a teepee interior shows cooking and sleeping areas, set out in a circular arrangement. 43. This is Donald McKay, chief of the Warm Springs Scouts during the Modoc War. He is wielding his .50 to .70 Sharps carbine back in 1873. 44. Here you can see the photograph of Wild Bill Hickok before his gunfighter reputation. The aura this man had was insane. 45. These Buffalo Soldiers were transformed from Texas to Arizona back in 1885. The photograph shows a group of 10th Cavalry troops at Fort Apache. 46. For the first time, the Shoshone tribe adopted someone, and this guy is the mountain man Jim Baker, who was also known as the Red-Headed Shoshone. 47. This band image shows us the body of Black Jack after hanging with his head snapped off. 48. This is the Yuma Territorial Prison, built in 1876. Here, prisoners were housed for 33 years and saw over 3,000 inmates passing through the cells. 49. This photo from the early 1880s shows a pack train pulling a load of ore from a Tombstone mine. 50. This painting is of Billy the Kid, blasting a drifter who waved a pistol at him in the Police Gazette scene. It was taken back in the 1870s. 51. This photo includes the Dalton gang's bodies that were thrown in the Coffeyville jail overnight in a heap. The only survivor was Emmett Dalton, who served 15 years in prison after his 23 gunshot wounds healed. 52. On the left, we have the Brazen Bill Brazelton, and on the right, we have a Tucson posse. The outlaw and stage robber were both killed by a 5-man gang just 2 miles south of Tucson. 53. This Wild West portrait shows us the deadly assault on the pro-Union town of Lawrence, Kansas, where 150 civilian men and boys were slaughtered and homes were set ablaze. The attackers got drunk amidst the ruins, showing the brutal times of the past. 54. These 2 cavalrymen were dead outside a Kansas dance hall while local women were looking at them, dreading in fear. 55. This is the last photo of Santiago Ortiz during his hanging at the Yuma County Courthouse. He murdered a storekeeper, took several $100s, and forged some checks. 56. This side shows us the 1871 LA Chinese massacre. This was the nation's worst single lynching, and the battle between rival gangs happened over ownership of a girl that triggered the slaughter. The result was 19 Chinese immigrants who were killed, and 15 were hanged by the mob. 57. This photograph shows us what a real hunter is like. The Wainuint Paiute hunter was aiming a rifle in southwestern Utah. 58. This image is the Illustrated Police News of April 15, 1882, where it helped solidify the public opinion of Bob Ford's cowardly shooting of the unarmed Jesse James in the back of the head. 59. This photograph is of tombstoners with a freshly butchered pig on the table, ready to be roasted to celebrate the new city's firehouse in 1881. 60. This is the first house built on the present site of Dodge City, Kansas. It was built in August 1872. 61. This is the photo of Jose Chavez, who entered the Territorial Penitentiary of 1897 as inmate 1089. He was an outlaw from the New Mexican Territory and killed more men than Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett combined. 62. In 1892, the largest mass execution in U.S. history happened in Mankato, Minnesota, when 38 Dakota men were hanged on massive public gallows. 63. This is Rath and Wright's Buffalo Hide Yard in 1878, showing 40,000 buffalo hides in Dodge City, Kansas. 64. Law enforcement officers are holding the bodies of Bob and Grat after the attempted bank robbery in Coffeyville, Kansas. 65. This picture shows us some Texas Rangers on the King Ranch in 1915 with lassos pulled around the bodies of Jesus Garcia, Mauricio Garcia, and Amanda Munoz. 66. This photo is moments before Boone Helm was hanged. He was a mountain man, hired killer, and part-time cannibal who left nothing but death anywhere he went. This image is from 1864. 67. Here you can see the popular buffalo hunter Ralph Morrison killed by Cheyennes near Fort Dodge, Kansas. 68. This photo shows us Ned Coy, a famous Dakota cowboy who starts out for the cattle roundup with his pet. The ironic thing about his pet is that it is called Boy Dick. 69. The most disturbing Wild West photo of hundreds of thousands of bison skulls awaiting industrial processing. 70. Here, you can see the final image of Jesse James dead and in a coffin. 71. This photo gives us a picture of Cheyenne Sundance dancers in the 1900s, but for some reason, they look quite gloomy. 72. John Wesley Hardin was one of the most controversial folk icons. This picture is of his postmodern back in 1895. 73. Here you can see a massive sandstorm massing over Midland, Texas back in 1894. The precise time here was 6 p.m. 74. After boasting that he'd killed 32 men in a gunfight, outlaw Bill Longley was arrested. It was later shown that he only killed a fraction of that number, and most of the victims were murdered. 75. In 1880's December, Sheriff Pat Garrett and his posse found Billy the Kid and his regulators in a stone hut in Stinking Springs. This is where a shootout began, which killed Charlie Boder and captured Billy. 76. You might not expect it, but this is the mother of Jesse James, called Zarella. This photo was taken in 1882. 77. Today we have businesses like open carts, but back in the days we had a roundup wagon and a cook. A totally unexpected duo. 78. Look at this iconic photo of two Navajo looking at the ruins of Casablanca in Canyon de Chelly, Arizona in 1913. 79. This is the original Dead or Alive poster from 1874 to 1912. More than 20 people were wanted in this poster. 80. Today, we have high-level excavating machines, but back in 1882, you can see workers excavating for the foundation of the Lampasas County Courthouse. 81. This image is of Marshal Ben Thompson of Austin, Texas. He admitted to 32 killings as a private citizen. However, his way of killing was to kill openly and manly. 82. After Jesse James died, he wasn't just buried or burnt. He was shown at full display. This image is from 1882. 83. This is another unique photo because here you see Joe Fowler, the notorious killer in the Wild West, who is rumored to have murdered 30 to 40 people. Back in the day, he was operating as a deputy sheriff who often targeted individuals on behalf of corrupt politicians. 84. Back in 1893, this photo depicts the Cherokee Outlet opening. This opened approximately 6 million acres of land for settlement. Over 100,000 people participated, racing to claim homesteads. 85. This picture of the interior of the railroad car, back in 1899, called the Wilcox train robbery. The image stolen was reported to be worth as much as $36,000. 86. This photo is for John Stellman, who is a figure of stealth and violence. This guy killed gunfighters like John Wesley Hardin and Bass Outlaw. 87. This photo is from the Mountain Meadows Massacre. This was between the Mormon settlers and Arkansas immigrants heading to California. 88. This is the photo of Slaughter's Cowboys, a group of cowboys employed by John Horton. 89. This is a very unique photo of Myman, a Mojave Indian guide and interpreter in Colorado country. 90. This photo is gruesome due to the history behind it. The 11-year-old Jimmy McKinn was abducted in early September 1885 by Geronimo. Jimmy bitterly resisted being returned to his family 1 year later and wanted to stay amongst the Indians. 91. This photo is from Coffeyville, Kansas, in October 1892. This was when the Dalton gang's failed robbery. On the ground, you have Bob, Grat, Bill Powers, and Dick Broadwell lying side by side on the ground. 92. Here, we can see the Cheyenne Indians held prisoner in the county jail in Jugue City. They were captured as they were trying to return to the Black Hills. 93. Air, the Fort Smith federal prisoners and guard posed on the courthouse steps in the early 1880s. 94. This photo is the execution of Solon Lewis, a Choctaw man. The first shot missed Lewis's heart, but then he was suffocated with a handkerchief. 95. This isn't a regular woman. She is Red Blanket, a Cheyenne warrior who followed the Maasai people's tradition of wearing a red blanket. 96. Bass Reeves was a former slave turned deputy U.S. Marshal. He has unparalleled skills as a tracker and an unwavering approach to justice. 97. Before the Wounded Knee battle, the Ghost Dance happened in 1891. It was also known as the Ghost Dance movement. 98. On the left we have Bill, and on the right we have Fred McCarty. They were a father and son outlaw duo in the Wild West, infamous for various crimes like train robberies, bank heists, and cattle rustling. 99. Another iconic picture that shows us the picture of Stagecoach Mary. Born into slavery, Mary Fields was the first African-American star route mail carrier. She was going through bandits, blizzards, and wolves to deliver mail across Montana. Some say that she was 6 feet tall. 100. Who says women can't be badass? This is Ann Oakley shooting an apple off her dog's head. She was in her 60s at the time. With the 100th photo of Wild West on our video, we have seen everything from the most gruesome and brutal images to iconic ones with a legendary history. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon for more.